My name is Alicia Schober, and I am Manager Sales Enablement at Sage. And Sage is a $2 billion company in the cloud ERP space. And I'm here today to talk to you about how all roads lead to enablement. And there are a lot of different stakeholders throughout the organization who want to enable, who want to reach out and talk to our sellers. And it is our job to become friends with them, to build connections with them, and to have a seat at the table so we can all work together. And so this afternoon, I'll share with you what we've learned, lessons learned along the way, and also I'll dive into a particular program that we ran that had real bottom line results. It was for the new business team, and by the end of the year, they had 130% of their quota attainment, and this program contributed to that. All right, so as Eli has mentioned a couple times, so I was gonna steal it from him, Sage Intacct is seen as the shining star at Sage. Sometimes they call us the crown jewel. They really liked work. Sage Intacct is an original SaaS model, and they purchased us to learn from us. And so our best practices have been distributed across the organization, and as well as our sales enablement practices. So we started out more as like a small business and had to figure out how we could be impact-driven and aligned with our stakeholders as we grew. And through our enablement processes that we put together and the stakeholder alignment that we've fostered over the past few years, we've really produced some tremendous results. And I have a couple successes that I'd like to share with you today. So here are two of our go-to-market organizations. New business is, of course, focused on new customer acquisition, and customer success on renewals and upsells. And we were able, through stakeholder alignment, to deliver targeted programs for new business around proposal delivery and negotiation skills training, and for customer success, driving customer adoption and scalability, and some programs on retention and renewal conversations. And the result of these programs was that we doubled the revenue in those sales organizations, and of course increased our sellers' ability to have quality, value-driven conversations with our customers and increase their knowledge of sales skills. So in 2019, at the end of 2019, Sam left Sage Intacct, and I stepped into his shoes. So it's really a delight to also be on the same stage that you were on today, Sam. And Eli, thank you for inviting me. I'm just thrilled to share this. So there were a few well-developed onboarding programs back then, and we did occasional live programs. Well, today we have broadened the array of services that we provide to Sage Intacct. But there's so much that's coming at us. We had to prioritize the needs of the field. And how we did that back in the beginning of 2020, was we did some field listening. We call it field listening. So we, through a survey and through focus groups and through field interviews, got the pulse of the sales leaders, the line managers, the sellers. What was going on today? What's the status quo? Where do we want to go? But we didn't stop there. We reached outside of the sales organization and also talked to product management leaders, product marketing, sales operations, professional services, legal even, to understand what their needs were. So even though what you see here is silos, each of those departments were operating in their own way, in their own silo. But we uncovered the need that they wanted to enable the field with topics that were important to them, but they didn't know how because we hadn't really built those relationships with them. So we wanted to figure out how can we do this together and break down these silos. So it's been a challenging journey at times, but it's been an opportunity to work with these other stakeholders, to teach them, to be the translator, to let them know what salespeople need to know and to help regulate the amount of enablement that comes to them so they can adopt it and we can see bottom line results. So you may feel it sometimes, requests are coming from everywhere. Marketing has an event coming up, or there's some new collateral that they want to push out to the field. Competitive intelligence just did their latest report, and the sellers have to see it right away. Legal's come up with a new policy that's mandatory for everybody to view. Well, we see all of these people as part of sales enablement, and that we help orchestrate what gets out to the field. Having fun with the fan that's above me. So we have sales enablement here at the center of the circular that you see, this roundabout. And what we're focused on is the sales organization. And around us, we have all these different stakeholders that we work with. And so what is most important to us is not only building programs that drive the bottom line, but programs where people actually want to work together again because they had a great experience. I think I heard Eli mention earlier, building friendships. And so that is what we try to do in our organization. So at the end of a program, people, and we do the debrief, people say, that was fun. I really liked working together. You know, I hadn't worked with all of you before, and we really did something that was impactful. So what we do is we bring order to work with orchestrating among all these different organizations and to deliver the intended outcomes. Now, one way that we build this friendship with our stakeholders is we have the Sales Enablement Champions program. This is a way to recognize those in our organization who've gone above and beyond their everyday job to help us in enablement co-create and deliver services. These folks are nominated by our Sales Enablement team, and then they are recognized not only for the contribution that they made to our team, and it helps us build our brand, reinforce our brand of working with others, but it's also an opportunity for that champion to be recognized professionally. Now, Sage has a value of teamwork and being customer and colleague focused, and we embed that into all the services and programs that we run. And this helps Sage deliver on its growth goals. So let's talk a little bit about the evolution of our sales enablement team. So Sam left at the end of 2019, and I stepped in, and I went, oh my, I'm all by myself. So it was a team of one. I was at the ad hoc stage. I was basically just trying to keep the ship afloat. I was at the whim of whatever needs were coming in, but I was able to sustain that. But I couldn't be strategic. There was only one of me, and I really only had to work with what was the most important at the time. And then Lisa Gutch, who is our Senior Director of Sales Enablement, joined us in the beginning of 2020. So now there were two of us. So we were in the divide and conquer stage, or that tactical stage. And she said, okay, I'll take new business. I said, all right, I'll take customer success. And we were able to get a little bit deeper and build those relationships. And it was early days for us as well in reaching out to non-sales departments. We started our go-to-market enablement practice So we started building deeper relationships with product marketing and product management at that time. Now, as we have grown the team, and I'm very happy to say we are up to 10 people now on our team. We are now at the embedded stage that I say. As we've grown it, it's not been so prescribed. We always stay field focused. And what does the field know at that need at that time? We would look for the right kind of talent to bring in to help out and build services based on that. So where do we want to go? Our next level is the strategic level, where we are data-driven. And I told Eli before, I admit, this is an area where we really need to focus on. We need to roll up our sleeves and not be afraid and just go after those metrics. And that's a focus of ours for FY23. And I'm pleased to say that we recently brought on a sales operations specialist to the team. And so she'll be doing operations, analytics, and also help us with all governance around the systems that we use. Okay, so I talked about diving into a particular program I wanted to share with you. So now that our team had grown to 10, we were able to have sales enablement leads for each of our sales organizations, which for us is new business, customer success, and sales development. And in one of her routine cadences with our VP of new business, our enablement lead discovered that the close process was rather broken and that the sales leader was frustrated with what was happening. So there were inconsistent processes around the close process, the decks that were used, and timing, and unfortunately, deals were slipping. And so we worked together to create a program, but there was a challenge because we were changing culture. We were going to bring in a program that was changing the way people do things, and that's difficult. But we were able to overcome that because we had our champion was the VP of sales. So working together, we came up with the proposal process, which is a methodology. It's repeatable, and it involves a process for creating the deck, delivering the proposal, and doing the close. And it's been very, very successful. So at the end of the year, this was 2021, at the end of the year, it not only helped drive 130% quota attainment, but what we've noticed with this program is that ASP is increased and discounting has reduced because of the way we have them create their proposals. And as a nice side effect, they're also having better value conversations with our customers. So, how were we able to deliver these amazing results? So the special, unique thing here is what I mentioned in the beginning, that close collaboration with the VP of sales. Him being a champion and involved, and sometimes, yes, it can be challenging to have a leader very involved in what you're doing, but that really helped to amplify and drive adoption of this program. And then we worked with not only the sales leaders and some top-performing account executives to help us put together, but we also brought to the table sales operations, the head of professional services, and the head of business operations to help us put together this program. And in this case, Sales Enablement acted as an orchestrator and as a trusted advisor. So, this is where SalesHood comes into. And as you heard, Sage Intacct has been a long-time customer of SalesHood and has leveraged the platform. And this was a perfect use of that. We initially ran the program live and we recorded it. So what we did is we created a SalesHood huddle, and I put the live recording in there. I edited up into smaller bite-size videos by topic. And then we also have the training deck up in this huddle with the notes, so sellers can take a look at it to not only refresh themselves, but we also leverage SalesHood to help us scale. Our sales organization in size and the number of sellers in the past 3 years has doubled. And so we can't be running live programs all the time. So SalesHood helps us scale because when we hire new folks, they have the training on demand. Now, to help with really nailing down that pitch, being able to give that proposal and deliver it well and be very conversant, we use the pitch practice module. And that was put together in close collaboration with the VP of Sales, which I'll talk about in a moment. But this is an opportunity where the salesperson uploads their customized proposal in SalesHood, and then they record themselves giving the proposal, and then then the manager gets a notice that that's been uploaded, and they get a chance to review it and to score and leave comments. And also their peers have a chance to look at it. And then we made it fun. We created a competition. And so the top 3 pitches won some money. Now, how did we make this happen again? Well, this is the actual scorecard that we used here, and as I said, our VP of North America had very distinct attributes that he wanted to have on the scorecard to really upskill the reps. And so we put this together, and this helped them to verify that the message was consistent across our account executives. The reps had a chance to practice their messaging and then, of course, receive coaching and feedback from their managers. And then the managers would review the pitches and then in their one-on-ones, sit down and be able to have a great coaching session. So next, I'd like to share with you a couple tools that we use as our foundation to ensure stakeholder alignment. We heard about charters today. Paul, I think you were talking about your charter, right? So we have a charter overall for sales enablement, but now that we had grown so large and have a dedicated enablement team for each of our sales organizations and have regular cadences with those executives, we're able to go to the next level and do a more tailored charter for that organization. So it includes our sales enablement vision and our mission. And we have just started our new fiscal year, so we're actually updating our vision and mission. It's good to look at it every year and see if it needs to be updated. And of course, we have company goals in there. We have the overall SAGE goals. But then it has the sales organization specific goals in there. So the goals of customer success, or with new business, or sales development. And the definitions of those goals. So what type of revenue increase are you looking for this year? Number of logos you want to add. Ask the VP when you're working with them, well, what's your headcount profile look like for this upcoming year? And then how about organizational changes that might be happening? You document that together in the charter and then use this to build specific enablement services to help them deliver on those goals. So what I do is I have a matrix in my charter, and then I present my proposed programs, who the audience is, who the stakeholders or the subject matter experts are that I'll work with. Also, what behavior are we looking to change? What's the metrics and outcomes? And then lastly, how did we perform on that? Another tool. So as Lisa and I were developing more services in our early days, and She had her approach, I had my approach, and we came together and we said, well, it would be best if we had a repeatable process, how we move through developing all our enablement services. So thus the Sales Enablement framework was put together. And at Sage Intact, our mantra is for the field and by the field. We go to the field all the time to make sure we know what to build and what are their priorities. And so I want to point out there's a lot of different things I could talk about on this framework, but if you take a look at the green arrows, you're going to see all the touch points that we have as we're building our service with stakeholders. So in assess, when we're out there doing our field interviews, we talk to them. And then during our prepare, we will get stakeholder buy-in as we've developed our project plans and outlines and timelines. Are we on track? Does this look right? What adjustments do we need to make? And then build. We often build together with our stakeholders. Maybe like we'll use high-performing account executives will help us with role plays, will help give video, best practice videos, or we work directly with line managers and deliver the services together. And then scorecards or developing rubrics. In our case, for the new business program, we developed that scorecard in close collaboration with the VP of Sales. And then often delivering together, checking in for feedback, and of course, at the end, sitting down with those to do a debrief. How did we do on this program? What were the metrics? What were the results that we're seeing? And what do we need to do to iterate? All right. So, thank you for your attention. There's a few key takeaways I'd like you to have today. Listen to the field, be field focused, go out there, see what's working well for them, what's hindering them to not be able to be as efficient or effective as they can be. And build your charter, not only a charter for the overall sales enablement team, but a charter for each of those organizations that you serve. Dive deep. And what I like to do is I'll have a half-year business review. I oversee customer success enablement. And so I'll sit down with that VP on a half-year basis, and we'll review the charter, see how we're doing, and then use that as a guide for the next period. Some people do quarterly business reviews. And then lastly, partner with those stakeholders. You know, what does the field need, and how can you work together on delivery and coaching and mentoring and be all on the same page? So, wanted to thank you for your attention this afternoon, and I'm available if there's any questions.
Amazing.